all across Canada at this time. Now, the typesetters, they would have a very important job in this place because this was their keyboard. They would pull from this these small type bits. And these are often made of lead and were imported here from Great Britain, as Canada was a British colony at the time. So a lot of this had to be imported in from overseas. Now, a master typesetter would be able to pull from this without looking. I am not a master typesetter yet, so I do need to look to make sure I pulled the right thing. But before you would begin to print your paper, you would start by assembling this. This is a bit of a rough draft. You then take your paper, place it down, put the ink on it, and then can roll this heavy wheel over. And that's what gives you basically a rough draft of your article. Okay. Now you read through this, make sure there's no spelling mistakes, because you can imagine printing 500 things because there was one spelling mistake in your typeset. Okay. Always important to check your work. And then once that's done, well, we have a great opportunity to actually print our newspaper. Okay. A woman I always like to talk about here is Mary Ann Shatt. She was an abolitionist fighting to end slavery in the northern United States. However, in 1850, when the, I can remember the name, the Fugitive Slave Act was passed, it allowed people in northern states to arrest people if they believed they were escaped slaves. Oh, okay. So a lot of people did flee up here to Canada, including Mary Ann Shatt's family. Now, when she was here, she was a school teacher, but also the first Black woman in North America to own and operate her own newspaper. And that was the Provincial Freeman, which advocated for women's rights as well as the abolition of slavery. I think she's pretty cool. Yeah.
Even that time they print those notes on
yes,
those machines too.
Money. Greetings. Come on in.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. At this time, most places were using British currency, but some areas here in Canada did make their own for use in the local economy. Now, it's important to keep in mind that trading and bartering of goods was even more important at this time, much more so than money itself. But it's always interesting to look back and see the differences from currency back then and currency now. Yeah. And even some of the similarities.
Yeah.
Any questions that you have regarding printing in the 1860s, storytelling at that time?
Flourish.
Oh,
So
sorry.
it's very straightforward process.
Yeah, we would be paper for
Yeah, for cash. You flourish, just let me know if there's any shoot out.
Okay.
And then just write down any sales for the day. So to start out with what the deposit if there is, and I would just check it. So you should have 50.